Dustin Young here, Lone Roamer, and today we're going to talk about the new Outbound Lighting Trail Evo Light. I'm going to talk about the things I like about it, a couple things that I'm a little unsure of. They're minor and have to do more with my use than the light functionality itself, and how it works in combination with the Hangover. Because this is the Hangover, and the Trail Evo is their new downhill package lighting system where you don't have any external batteries and any external cables. Maybe. We'll talk about that a little more though. Comes in a box now. They don't deliver in these anymore. So one of the cool things I'm going to do is take this awesome system that they used to send everything in. I'm going to build padding and put these two in it because it's a great size. So if you found anything that was around this size, you know, this thing's probably 10 to 12 inches long. You know what? It's roughly the same size as the GoPro one, so you could just buy one of those. It looks to be 4 or 5 inches wide, and it's probably 3, maybe 4 inches deep. So from a size perspective, pretty easy to go find something to make. You could even do a hard case one so your lights were put away, maybe a little bigger, and put away your cables. Cool thing, the new, I don't know if you can see this, but the new power cable, the charging cable, 90-degree, and it's got this end system that it comes with in the box. And that system, it looks like it's going to create a pretty waterproof connection. Now, the only reason they'd need a waterproof connection to charge a light is if they intended this light to charge while in use, while on the trail. And I think that's exactly what their setup is headed towards. It is capable of that, and I think they'll only improve that with updates, and it will only get better. So we can now take some nice light lithium-ion batteries, and we can use an external battery and a cable if we're going to do a long ride. This is a pretty awesome setup. The shape of this thing being round tells me that I have a good idea what kind of battery they used. And because they used the type of battery that's super common, what would have been really awesome if this is 2 batteries, which I kind of think it is, if there was a door on this and we could have just swapped the battery pack out, swapped the battery pack in, this would have been the ultimate 24-hour race light because the light pattern is that good. So that's my one thing that I would have loved. So let's just get that out there right up front. And now let's get into what this thing did out on the trail that was spectacular. The beam pattern. You know, it used to be you'd be riding along and you'd have to set it up high enough, but then you get sort of a dead zone between the bars and where the light finally hit the ground. Or, you know, you get light that shoots off too high or in that big spot, or it floods out too, you know, and dissipates too fast. Man, these guys, 9 individual lights in the front, counting them to make sure I was right. They have managed the diffuser system, manage the reflecting system, you know, and what happens is you get this thing set up just right. By the way, killer bar mount. I would have loved to have seen the GoPro thing, but I gotta say, I get what they did. This thing is incredibly stable. And that goes to exactly what we're about to talk about. Once you get this thing lined up right, the dead spot is gone. The trail is incredibly visible. The cutoff line of light is soft. Unlike, you know, a really sharp, like on a new car, it's soft, but it's still a cutoff line. You're not blinding people up high, and it illuminates the trail so well. It's incredible. These guys have taken another step forward from what was already a pretty amazing light system. It works incredible in combination with this because now you can really point this down trail. You don't have that terrible light dissipation and this thing down low to pick up the dead spot. This becomes looking ahead, looking around corners, looking for what's coming. It changes how you fundamentally use the light system. And it means, and I loved this, even more control at night, more understanding of what's happening in the trail, and that means more fun. Faster down hills, having a good time and really enjoying the ride, and not feeling like you can't tell what's going on around you. You're not getting any tunnel vision anymore in night riding. This is huge. I mean, this is only getting better. I'd love to see some of the other lights up against it. I've done some tests against this. Out there the other day, there wasn't a light like it when we were out. Everybody else went by. It didn't matter. They just didn't have the same trail visibility. I was trying to pay attention. And what I found really amazing is, a lot of times when you night ride and you got lights and they're super bright and all this, you get your clear glasses, or you got stuff going on. I love to run goggles. I got them here as a little example. I run these clear Jubal goggles. You know, these are the mountain bike, enduro ones, whatever you want to call it, where you can pop this out, which eliminates all that fogging and heat, right? My visibility of the trail was so good. I never once thought about taking off my goggles. I never once thought about the things that you can think about on a night ride. I just rode my bike. And I think that right there answers a lot of questions. So I'm gonna get back to it. This mounting system is pretty awesome. They use a spring-loaded mechanism so that when you open it, this stays open. They use rubber tensioners, and it literally comes with bar mount for a 31 and a 35 mil bar system. That's estimated because we all know it's 31 point. It comes with that. It comes with new rubber seals. It comes with everything you need. What it doesn't come with, and I would suggest buying, I bought two. Feels like it's 3D printed. You never know when you're going to break them. This right here is a front cable manager. When the light is on the bike, because how many of us just love it when we're hauling butt downhill and our cables are bouncing around and our lights like this, and it's nothing so amazing as constantly having shadows and not seeing the trail, right? We just love things to interfere with our night rides. They said, hey, nope, let's fix that. Let's incorporate a system so you don't have to figure it out, so that there's a way to manage those cables. Now, you're gonna be like, oh, well, maybe your cables are too long. Well, when I'm on the Yeti and I got all that front travel on my 150, that cable grows every time I smash the front end down, which means that cable's gonna move in front of the light. It's just the way a bike works when it has suspension. This keeps that cable under and behind the light all the time. You get a little bit of rattling noise. I might try to work on that because I just don't like rattles. But that's nothing compared to having a cable bouncing up in front of your light constantly. So I bought an extra one of those. I think they were 12 bucks or something. Buy a couple, have an extra one laying around. You're gonna wanna use it. When I bought an extra mount because this is the race bike. I've got a mount on here. I keep a mount on my 150. Again, I think this was 15 or 20 bucks. So if it was really expensive, which considering how it's made and machined, you know, they want to sell you lights, not mounts. That's real clear, because this thing's worth what you're paying for it. The other thing, check this out. You take the one end, you slide it in, pop it down. Now, when you first pop it down, I am going to tell everybody you want to take it and pull that over and lock it in, okay? If you just put it in, it's in, but I think you're gonna hit a good bump and eventually your light's gonna come off. And then you're gonna be upset. And the reality is, there's a notch this is supposed to be tightened to, so tighten it to the notch. I didn't see that specifically called out in the instructions, but the thing is really tight. I mean, the tolerances are awesome. You want tolerances like that because that's what's gonna keep the damn thing from rattling around and the light bouncing around on you while you're riding. That's what gives you that incredibly stable light and you get that great look. So, the port down here. Spectacular. Rubber enclosure, it's deep, really deep. You know, the light port is in there a good, more than 1/4 of an inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch. This goes in and it creates a really secure, watertight looking connection. So that means you're gonna be able to run an external battery. This is a good thing if you're gonna do some 24 hours, which I am this year. There's another one coming up. I used to ride it a lot in the past. Looking forward to doing it this year. Can't wait. The other thing, All lights get warm. All batteries, when they're dissipating energy, get warm. Systems get warm. So they put a vent all across the bottom. That's what this gap is in the top, if you're not aware. Air flows through your light and cools the mechanism. Now, if it's really cold out at night, well, that doesn't do a lot of good. But you're gonna ride when it's not really cool. You're gonna ride in 50 or 60 degree and 70 degree weather. And that is when you're gonna wanna cool this system down with the airflow, because you're gonna be heating up the aluminum, and it's just better if you keep everything with nice air flowing through it. I mean, if you're curious how that works, take this helmet. That's why it's here, for example. All these air vents, tape them shut and go for a ride even in 50 degree weather. And when your head's cooking and you're peeling them off, you'll appreciate that they actually considered the value of cooling the electronics down. So, I've done a review on this light already, but I wanted to show you, mount it to the helmet, really nice. I sort of wish I'd have mounted it a little further back just for weight balance of the helmet. Think about that when you're trying it on. Figure out where the weight balance of your helmet is when it's on your head. Lights a little further back are good. These things, you know, they pry up high enough, it's no big deal. And it just makes it even that much more comfortable. But this light is super comfortable anyway because it's so light, so it's hard to be upset about that. I can tell you, we can sit here, we can talk lumens. I don't do that with these kind of lights anymore. That was a big thing in the past. Now, it's about light quality, and that's where they've nailed it. The light quality when you're riding, hands down, I've not ridden something better yet. Maybe something will come along, maybe it'll be from them. Maybe now that they're pushing the envelope, other people will see it and start to actually work on their lights and realize that car technology, off-road desert racing technology, where you need your lights to work because you're cooking along and there's technical things that you need to see so you don't crash. It's time for mountain bikes to have gotten their share, and Outbound Lighting nailed it. They figured it out. This system is awesome. If you don't have one and you're looking for a light, I couldn't suggest a better setup. Buy the downhill package. You'll be super happy. If most of your rides are 1 to 3 hours, you'll never worry about needing external plugins. You know, just manage this and shut it off. The other thing, same as this light, turn it on. It starts out at a certain brightness, and over time it gradually dims itself because our lights adjust at night to the light output and the light input that they can take. So that gives you a little extra battery time. I ran this light down too, and it was still spectacular. It didn't need to be on its fullest brightness. If you're going fast downhill, it would be hard to outrun this light. And I can tell you, I've been going downhill, and several other riders I know who are faster than I am, outrun their lights. They slow down and slow the fun down. Don't want to do that, right? Because their lights aren't capable, and there is no slowing the fun down. So I hope you guys like this video. Please like it, share it. You know, I gave a big thing about this being a company they care about mountain biking. It's what they do. They're building a van that's just ripping awesome right now. It's a mountain bike van, and it's got crazy cool lighting technology in it. This is what they do. They're not trying to be a company that makes 80 parts. They're trying to be a company that makes the best lighting there is. So share the video, get them more attention, because they deserve it. They just are an awesome company. Call them up. You need customer service, you get it. You want to understand how to charge your light while driving down the trail on the bike, you'll get that answer from them. They'll talk to you, and they want you to get the best experience possible. And if you have a problem with their stuff, I had it on another light. They just handle it. So if you're worried about any of that because it's not the big name brand that you're used to seeing at the local bike shop, don't. These guys are awesome, and they take care of you, and they care about their product. It's really clear. The fit and finish of this light, I mean, everything is spectacular. They really thought this out. It's cool to see American manufacturing making great products again. You know, I love that. It's a big thing for me. I hope it's a big thing for you. And enjoy your night. These lights, couldn't recommend them more. Big thumbs up from me. Have an awesome night, and I'll talk to you again in another video.